Welcome to the Talk podcast with ideas strategist Linda Reed-Enever. Talk is where we chat about ideas and inspiration you can use to market your business. Get ready for practical tips you can implement today with your host, Linda Reed-Enever.
Hi everyone, Linda Reed-Enever. Well, welcome back to the Talk podcast. It's been a while since we did an episode of Talk, and that has been the reason that I needed to take time for myself and for our businesses in what we were doing. And that's what today's episode of Talk is all about. It's going to be a short little one about not feeling bad, about doing what you need to do for yourself and your businesses, and maybe needing to slow down from time to time. Because as business owners, and especially those with multiple businesses, and those of us who have families as well, there are multiple demands, and sometimes life gets in the way, and just functioning is just enough for your business. So being able to meet the needs of your clients, being able to meet the needs of your people, not launching anything or you're not doing anything new, but just keeping the status quo is fine for that period of time. So my personal story, just so that you can understand where we came from, towards halfway through 2022, I got COVID and then I got long COVID, which meant that I had to take a step back. I couldn't be here doing everything like talk episodes. I wasn't breathing well enough to do talk episodes, forget anything else, but we couldn't be here doing talk episodes. I was able to get up, look after and support our businesses, support our clients and support our teams. And that was enough. That was enough. I wasn't having to be in person. We weren't having to do anything more than that. That was enough. And sometimes being in business, we need to allow ourselves the positions of that is enough. So today I wanted to share with you some things about honoring your time and honoring your boundaries, and some things that I reminded myself of back over this period to get myself back to where I needed to be. And that's really honest. I had to get myself back to where I needed to be before I could come back and do episodes like Talk. And the first one was putting routines into my phone. Okay. I am a big believer of downtime and walking away from things. So putting routines into my phone that said, on Saturdays and Sundays, I don't get pings from Facebook unless they're, in my friends list. I don't get calls unless they're in my contacts list, unless someone repeatedly calls. I don't get notifications from LinkedIn. I don't get notifications from our project managers or those channels from there. And I have that boundary. And even to the point during this long COVID period that I was going through, I actually turned around and said, you know what, the world's not going to die if I don't have sound notifications on for Facebook, if I don't have sound notifications on for the project manager, if I'm just checking in once or twice a day. So allowing yourself that boundary to go, okay, that's enough. The next one is to honor your energy. Now, I know this can sound very, very woo. And what do I mean by honor your energy? Sometimes we don't have the energy to go at 100%. Sometimes we need to take that step back and go, right, my energy today is to get through X, Y, Z. As business owners, we can quite often think that we have to take the workload of 3 or 4 people. And we wouldn't expect that of our staff. We wouldn't expect that of anyone working with us. We would honor their energy and we wouldn't take on the extra workload of other people. So honor your energy. If you are not at capacity to be in front of camera today, don't be in front of camera. If you are not at capacity to be talking to people and you don't have appointments booked in, don't talk to people. If your head's not in a writing space, do something that you want to do. And it's okay for some days to walk away and go, no, I just can't business at all today. Because we quite often forget to take the breaks, the leave, the things that we need to do within our business. And the other thing that I started to do was I started to re-time track everything I did within our business. Now, for me, ClickUp has time tracking built into it, so that was really good. But I actually put a screen time tracker on my machine and I started to track the extra bits and pieces that I was doing that maybe could be outsourced to someone else. And one of those things that I decided to outsource wasn't so much work. It was the house cleaning and the stuff that just, after I honored my energy and did what I needed to do for our clients, I just couldn't do the housework or I couldn't do these areas over here. So I honored that energy as well. And I have a teenage daughter. So the other thing that I did about honoring my energy was making sure that I had enough energy to be there for her after school, to be there for her over those areas, and just really making sure that she was supported throughout this journey, which was mum's recovery, but also the new life that it was going to be that we were creating in these boundaries. And then the final one that I'm going to talk about today is boundaries, is honoring those boundaries. You have people who, if you're working from home or you're working within your business, will think that they can just pop in. It could be suppliers, it could be family, it could be friends, and they're just going to pop in and say hi or bring a cuppa or do all of those sorts of things, which is absolutely lovely, but it's a time suck. Let's really, really be honest. So let's honor those boundaries of when I'm at work, I'm at work. just the same as when you're with your family, when you're off and you're relaxing, you're relaxing. Because as business owners, if we don't honor our boundaries, if we don't honor ourselves and we don't allow ourselves time to work through whatever we have to work through, whether that's a recovery, whether that's a slower period just because we need it, then we find ourselves in the position where we are burnt out, and burnt out is no good for anyone. And it's definitely no good for you and your business because you're not getting up the next day to work. So just remember, you are a driving force within your business. You are a cog, but that cog needs to be functioning really well, just like any other machine. It needs to be well oiled. It needs to be well maintained. It needs to be updated, and it just needs to have that break. And we don't have to do everything at once. So as I leave you in this episode of Talk, I just want to remind you that no one is superhuman. No one does everything at once. And we all need breaks from time to time. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed at the moment, go take that break.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talk with Linda Reed-Enever. Make sure you subscribe via your favourite podcast app so you don't miss the next great episode. You can find more ideas and inspiration at lindareedenever.com.au.